If you're a dodo, maybe you don't know. Maybe you have wings that don't do a thing. Maybe there's something to all that is nothing. No looking back, go the way of the dodo. But if we can be great, extinction could be sane. Adventure and romance, mystery and nonsense. Some fear and some hope, bullying and sorrows. So maybe we all know the way of the dodo.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's me, your GM, Isaac Allen Burns, and I'm here today to bring to you a steaming hot plate of a podcast called Dodoborne. With me around the table, my sous chefs. To my left, I have one, Annie Hawthorne, playing
Squawk.
Crank. Sorry, I interrupted
Squawk.
you. Very good. All right, and across the table from Annie, we've got one, Joe Diamity,
Squawk.
playing Kapi, a Furbolg.
Double squawk.
And then across the table from Joe, we have Rowan Collins playing our favorite soft boy fawn,
Squawk chef.
Pistachio.
Squawk chef.
Squawk chef.
Thank you. Thank you. At ease, soldiers.
Squawk.
Well, last time that we all met in the kitchen here for Dodoborne, the three of you started your day, a day kind of like any other. However, this day was a little special as the three of you were about to start a new chapter of your lives. Well, two of you are about to start a new chapter of your lives at the Adventuring Guild of a little town called Bracken Road, a place known for apple orchards and not much else. We met our heroes, and our heroes had normal everyday interactions with people that they know about and care about and love. And I think we left off with Crank. You were stepping into the Adventurers Guild. In this room, just to describe the place, this is a somewhat small office room, as you can imagine. There's an open foyer that you step into. And to the right are a couple of pin boards where certain jobs and announcements are shown for the Adventurers Guild. Most of them small, odd jobs for people to complete. Some of them announcements from the various branches of the guild. But at the very front is a desk. Behind the desk is a man with such red hair. And when I say red hair, I mean RGB set to 255 red and 0 all the rest of it kind of red hair. Just a shocking red capital R hair. He is standing behind the bar, and behind him you see a little phone, because they have phones in this world. It is, back in the day when you had a phone attached to your wall. What is a cell phone? We only have home phones here. You also know that that phone connects to two places. Connects to the main branch over in the capital, and it also connects to the mayor's office. This is not a very advanced thing, but technology is on the rise here, you guys. That's something I should point out, is Altea is currently in the midst of a technological revolution. But Bracken Road's not in the middle of that, because Bracken Road's in the middle of nowhere. There is also a bunch of little books and folders behind there that you think the guy behind the desk has not looked at in many years. He stands there, somewhat sleepy-eyed, a little dreary, smelling very stark of old alcohol, but puts on as best of a smile as he can and looks over to the man next to him and says, "Kid, you know the drill. Why don't you take the new recruits?
Yes, sir.
I'll look for the job that someone sent in."
Fantastic. Cadets, you're late.
Oh, sorry. Pistachio, will just salute you and stand very rigidly.
This is the kind of attitude I like. Look at you, big
Crank,
guy.
Yeah, Crank is very military, very orderly. He knows how to do this.
Yeah. You weren't late. I was just testing you. So you already failed, but that's okay.
Oh, no. Oh, crap.
First order of business, I assume you brought your dues.
I was told that my parents already paid ahead of time.
Can't trust parents, I'm afraid. Let's strike one. What about you? Anything up in that hat?
Crank will, I don't keep anything in my hat. Crank will kind of turn a knob and like open his chest. And in his chest is kind of like a locker, where he keeps all his stuff. And he'll pull out however much in exact change
Yes.
the dues are and close and hand you the.
Yeah, Kapi
the
definitely
dues.
just takes it.
Oh,
That's strike two.
I could just phone home. They didn't give me enough for the dues.
We'll make it up eventually, I'm
no.
sure. Oh, look at you. You poor sweet apple flower, you. Oh my God. Look at you. Do you just wonder, are you working here?
Yeah, I'm working here as of today.
And did you bring like a parent's waiver or I'm
I'm old enough to work.
oh my goodness.
I'm old enough to work.
You are adorable. Yeah.
Thank you.
Look at you. Nothing but your little bag and a song in your heart.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I will hang after your every word because you look really, really cool.
You know what? You're back to the strike one. I like your attitude, kid.
I got up the strike. Oh, this is so great. Compliments get me far.
Yeah. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Pistachio.
Oh, of course you are.
I'm of the Droop family. We're the nut farmers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, big guy?
My name is Crank.
Hi, Crank. What's your story?
I want to become a wizard.
Yeah, you do. I love that for you. So my name is Kapi. I will be in charge for your time during the Adventurers Guild. We know why you're here. I know why you're here. Unfortunately for you, there's a bit of a process, right? You can't just move up right away. If you think we're going to go fight a fire demon on day 2, we're not.
Okay, good. I was a little worried about that one.
If you think we're going to go on and I point at Crank really forcefully, if you think we're going to go on a magical scavenger hunt on day 3, you're wrong.
Oh, is that day 1?
Oh.
Please say that's day 1.
Moral of the story. As long as you stick with me, everything's going to be fine.
Oh, cool. So you've got our safety in mind.
Of course I do. Well, I definitely have Cranks. He paid his dues.
Oh,
But-
can I use the phone? I'll make sure that I call.
No. Like Kapi's very aware that like your parents already paid. That's fine.
They didn't give me enough. They gave me a lunch, but I didn't think to bring it.
What do you have for lunch?
I
Is it
have.
apple?
No, we don't have apple for lunch. It's very hard to get apple, and also my dad doesn't like the apple people very much.
He doesn't like the apple people.
Well, I like Scarlet. She's really nice, but
How do you know Scarlet?
Oh, she works at the bakery, and sometimes she tutors me.
She tutors you?
Yeah, she sometimes tutors
In
me. She tutors me in speech. That's
Pistachio,
how
I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you old enough to be here?
I'm old enough to be here.
Okay, I'm going to need to see some ID.
What's Crank doing while this is all happening? Is Crank just like staring,
Crank
watching?
is just watching. He's probably assuming that something is going on. Doesn't quite know what is happening.
Are you made of metal? What kind of metal are you made out of? Is that an okay question to ask?
I don't think anyone's ever asked me that before.
Oh gosh. Well, I've heard that there's more than one.
Oh, I don't know. I think I lost the manual.
Oh, is it cool being tall?
Everyone like me is this tall.
Oh wow.
So it's very different being surrounded by short people.
Oh.
Yeah, Kapi's just like staring daggers because he's like 6'2". So he's used to being primarily the tall one among the town of primarily fawns that exist here.
Yeah, all of the fawns in Pistachio's family are like 5'7" and below. So Pistachio's just looking up at both of these two people like, wow.
Scarlet's 5'7".
Scarlet is 5'7". She's pretty tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. Cyrus comes out from behind the bar,
Oh.
behind the desk, rather. You see he limps out. He's using a cane as he steps and has a bit of paper, and he stands for the three of you and says, all right, so as the representative of the Adventurers Guild of Brackenroad, I'm here to, blah, 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 blah.
Pistachio
The way it works.
jumps their hand up.
Hold your questions till the end.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So the way this works again is you're all recruits. You are not official members.
Well,
of-
we're not all.
Kid, was I talking to you?
No.
Okay. So as you three are standing here, you're all recruits. As you're well aware, you have to be recommended by a senior member of the Adventuring Guild for you to become a junior member of the guild. And once you become a junior member of the guild, you can work your way around the country, or still within this country, you have your pick of where you want to go to work at a guild elsewhere. You can work in any other country, not just this one. You need recommendations from 3 other branches before you can become a senior. That being said, your task today is keep you nice and easy. So the job that you will be doing today is have a. Are you writing notes, little one?
Yeah.
Are you putting notes?
Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm ready for the test. If we have a test. Are we going to have a test?
All right.
I'm ready if we have a test.
So, all right. You know what? That's okay. You can keep writing for now.
Yay, okay.
You're going to be going to Hitchens Farm out on the eastern side of the town. They have been reporting that some of their turnips have been absconded with. As you know, Hitchens is the only turnip farm here.
They're nice people. They are.
He stares at you.
Sorry.
They're the only turnip farm in town. And as you know, the Apple Festival is coming up. So it's very important that they have their turnips. So this is a job you're going to get done today. So this is a COB situation. For those who don't know, that stands for close of business. Business closes here at approximately 7 p.m. If you haven't done it by 7 p.m., job done until you're done.
I lean over to Crank. I'm like, were you listening?
Yes, I recorded everything that he said.
Perfect. We got it, boss.
All right. Any questions? Little one. What is your name again?
Oh, Pistachio.
All right, Piss. What what was your question?
It's Pistachio. So we've got something with the turnip farm that was absconded with, and it's.
Is this a question or are you just repeating back what I said?
Yeah. Wait, is this a paid mission of some sort, or is this just for like?
Standard dues for recruits is 1 handful of payment upon completion of the job.
Is the handful my handful or your handful? Or can it be Craig's handful?
Luckily for you, kid.
My
this
hands are
job-
also pretty big.
Yeah, your hands are pretty big.
Okay.
They're proportional.
We don't need to stand around and measure hand sizes. A handful, as we know, is a base unit of measurement here in Daggerheart. Stepping out. Hi, GM Isaac Allen Burns here. In Daggerheart, money is handled a little differently. You might be familiar with gold. And while there are little gold pieces, in this one, actually, measurements of money are made in more descriptive ways, the lowest of which being a handful. Back to the story. All right, does that answer your question? Me, Cyrus, the one talking now.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what your name was.
Name's Cyrus.
Okay, cool.
I'm a
And-
receptionist
you're the
and
receptionist.
I'm the owner of this building, receptionist of the Adventuring Guild.
Are you our boss or is Kapi our boss?
So,
I think you said Kapi was your group, but
Ooh,
Kapi
okay.
said that they were early.
all right, as an adventurer, your boss is the client you're working for at the time. So don't let Kapi convince you that he's your boss. In this case, your boss is Farmer Hitchens.
Did we hear what the job?
Yeah,
I know there was turnips. We're going to the farm.
we're going to the turnip farm, but they've been absconded with their turnips.
Mm-hmm. Absconded.
Absconded.
Yeah.
That
Can you
means
use it in
they're
a-
disappearing.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
somebody
I was
stole
testing
their-
you recruits. You already passed it.
Fantastic.
Back down to no strikes.
Oh,
Good
I'm
job.
going up in the world. Yeah, so they got their turnips got stolen, and our job is to go and find them.
Fantastic.
And we have to do it by close of business, which is 7 p.m. and or whenever we finish. So we could be here until midnight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Well,
gonna be honest. I get a little weird past 10 p.m.
Ah,
I need,
kid.
I need my beauty sleep.
yeah, we're not going to be here past 7.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I hope not, because again, I get a little weird past 10.
Yeah, I'd hate to see you weird.
It's not very good.
Okay.
Well, if there's no more questions, he motions his hand forward as if to say, onwards, adventurers.
Oh my god, this is our first one. This is our first adventure, Crank. Are you excited?
Yes, I'm excited to go find where those turnips went.
Fantastic, the Keep of the Turnips. I wonder when they'll turn up.
Okay. So I gestured them out the door, and as I do, I turn around to Cyrus, and I'm like, how is it the same turnip mission every year? Every year. Come up with some new missions, man. And I just...
You see Cyrus just shrug and say, "That's what comes in."
Yeah.
So are you a wizard, Crank? Is that what the hat's for?
I'm going to be a wizard one day.
Oh, you're going to be a wizard. That's cool.
Aren't you a clank?
Yes, but
Clanks can't do magic. They're made of magic.
This conversation occurs as you're closing the door. And can I have you make an instinct check for me? In this case, once again, Annie, you're going to take 2 d12s, assign one to be the hope, one to be the fear, and add your instinct modifier to the total of the roll. And tell me if it's with hope or fear.
13 with fear.
Ooh. You know, a mechanic that occurs with the hope and fear method that we have here is that whenever the players roll, if they roll a hope, they gain a resource that is called a hope. In fact, hope can be used in a couple of ways, mostly around player mechanics. However, on the flip side of that coin is fear. And whenever the players roll with fear, a couple possible things can happen. What is known as a GM move could occur. And typically, a GM move pushes the story forward, or unexpected things happen, or something else comes around. Or, as the GM, I can choose to simply bank that fear and use it later to perhaps interrupt something with an intense moment. In this moment, however, you said a 13 with fear? That is high enough that you notice Cyrus looking at you in a different way than a lot of people have looked at you, Crank. Most of the time when people look at you, it is of a sort of surprise, like seeing a brand new thing, right? Like seeing an animal you've never really seen before. Most people here haven't seen an assembled man walking around 7'2". The way Cyrus is looking at you, however, is one of recognition. The curiosity that goes over his face is not one of seeing something for the first time. It is of seeing something that shouldn't be here. Nevertheless, you notice that look. Kind of looks at you, but does not seem to act on it, and instead nods a little bit, and the door closes. You all continue on.
So, are you familiar with the Hitchin farmer? The Hitch's farmers?
The turnip farm?
Yeah, the turnip farm. The
Yeah,
Hitchers.
I'm there like every 4 months.
Okay, all right. I know them in passing because, all of us small farms have to keep together.
Yeah, this is going to be a no problem. We're going to be in and out, 15 minutes, 2 handfuls. Yeah, 2 handfuls say they're in the shed again.
Oh, they're in the shed?
The turnips.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Farmer Hitchin has a little bit of a memory problem. I think it's because he's not getting enough vitamin C because he tries to not eat apples because they compete with his turnip farms. So,
A lot of people just not eating their competitors' food.
well, it's just the farmers, we kind of, well, I like to eat the apples. That's kind of how I got. Well, I look like this.
Yeah, I'm going to say they're in the shed. Come on.
All right.
Down the street you all go, walking through the roads of Bracken Road until you reach the eastern edge of the city. City? What city? This is a town. You reach the eastern part of the town until the roads go from loose cobblestone to simple gravel and eventually to dirt. And soon, on the far eastern side, far away from the orchards of the apples, you see a modest little farm. A farmhouse standing 2 stories tall with a shed next to it, about equally sized. There's Hitchens Farm. You can definitely tell because there's a sign outside on a signpost that says Hitchens Farm. The Hitchens is spelled exactly how you would expect it. Nevertheless, you go up to the door, and after a couple knocks, a man stands before you. This is an old dwarf. His beard long and unkempt, his head bald as the day he was born, and much, much less hair than the rest of his face. He stands there, looks at you and blinks a couple times, and then squints at Pistachio and says, "Do I recognize you?"
Oh, yeah. Hi, Farmer Hitchens. It's me. It's Pistachio. I'm here with the Adventuring Guild, and this is Kapi, my boss, and Crank, my
his
new
name?
best friend.
My name is Melville Hitchens.
Melville, you know me.
Do I know you?
Yeah, you know Pistachio?
Yeah.
I'm here every 2 months to find your
Oh, wait, I do know you, Pistachio. Your brother came to help me out multiple times back in the day.
Wally, yeah,
That's
Wally,
right.
yeah.
Wally's a strong boy. That
Yeah.
Wally is. This guy.
Kapi is just fuming in the background.
Yeah, Wally cute, but yeah, Wally's pretty strong. Not as strong as Kapi here at Crank.
I feel like I do recognize. Anyway, you came here last year.
Yeah, and 3 times since.
Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah. And then,
Hi,
Wow.
we've never met before. I'm Crank.
oh, that's good to know. Okay, I didn't remember you. So, you're tall. This is good. Well, why don't you just follow me
He's
out here?
average. Average.
Well, the hat adds a good 8 inches, so
Yeah, those hats are like stilettos for your head.
He puts he is a farmer, but he's also a dwarf, so he's shorter than you. So he reaches a hand up as high as he can and touches your elbow and says, there, Kapi. No need to measure anything.
Okay,
Go on.
now you remember. We hear there's missing turnips.
Yeah, you just got to follow me for a second. Follow me. And he walks very slowly out to the back of the farm.
Kapi is doing that thing like behind like grocery carts where it's too slow and then like he's just like grabbing at his face and like pulling it down. It's like,
Kapi is impatient.
Pistachio, knowing that this is how the farmer is, just waits and then walks forward a little bit and then waits and then walks forward a little bit and then waits. Oh, it's a beautiful day, don't you think, Crank? It's like
yes,
sunny.
it is a good day. Not a cloud in the sky. Pistachio, I have a question.
Sure.
Is a turnip food?
Turnip is a food. It's a root vegetable. They grow in the ground, and they are a very good source of vitamin B.
Do they taste like apples?
No, not at all. They're crunchy.
Hmm.
That's about the same. That's all they got.
Hmm.
Have you never had a? Well, I guess you wouldn't have a
I
turnip.
don't eat.
Wow.
I've never tasted food.
Oh.
I don't have a sense of taste.
Well, here we are at the
Oh.
back of the town. It's back of this farm. And as you get there, you notice something strange, Kapi. This is a little different than you've seen before. For starters, the turnips aren't actually missing. The turnips are actually right in front of you. It's just that they've been eaten. Now simple roots and stems are all that's left of the turnips. Some of the turnips, you notice, have just big bite marks taken out of them. And as you look to the back towards the fence, you see that the fence is not standing up straight, but in fact has been somewhat broken. A gap large enough for all of Crank to step through is in the fence.
I go and stand in the gap and I look at it thoughtfully.
I push myself past Crank to also stand arms akimbo, but to assert my dominance.
Like two
As the
men,
leader.
like two men staring at an open hood of a
Yeah,
car, not
right.
knowing what to do.
Pistachio is gonna look down at the little bite marks that are on there and like the and kind of like look at the plant and see like in their brain like about what kind of size this animal is. And are there any like not completely destroyed turnips?
There are a couple with only, surprisingly, a few bites taken out of it.
All right, I would like to use an ability of my domain
Here we
called
go.
Nature's Tongue, where I can speak the language of hidden natural world. So when I want to speak to the plants and animals, I have to make an instinct roll, and on a success, they will talk to me and give me the information that I know. With a fear, their knowledge comes as a cost.
This is fantastic. Go ahead and roll that dice.
All right.
Oh, while this is happening, Crank is gonna pick up a turnip that has had a bite taken out of it, and he's gonna look at it, and he's gonna rub it on his chest like he's seen people do to apples, and he's just gonna like pop it into his chest cavity just for later.
Yeah, and then he looks over and he sees Kapi just like staring up at him like, what's your deal?
But people like food.
I failed. But so Pistachio rolled a 7. We're trying to roll a 12. So they've got like a turnip in their arms, and they're like, "Hey, little guy, what's going on there? Are you okay? What happened to you? Can you tell me anything?"
Oh God,
So
Recruit's
what's-
talking to the vegetables.
So what's really
again.
fun about mechanics is that oftentimes a failure is not because the thing couldn't happen, but instead, in this case, it was a failure with fear, right?
Hope with hope.
Oh, okay, with hope. So that means obviously it doesn't work, but it's not terrible. Nothing really bad happens. This magic that you use, this sort of connection to the natural world goes through. You're holding this turnip that, once again, just for descriptor's sake, has a bite taken out of it. And as it connects, the only thing that you hear is, "Oh my God!
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
soon the voice quiets.
Pistachio just has tears coming out of their face because they had to put this thing out of its misery by eating it.
Crank is simultaneously horrified and fascinated.
Yeah,
Wait,
Kapi's
do
never seen
all vegetables talk? Is that magic?
I don't know what's going on here.
Ooh, I'm gonna try another one.
Is this like after 10 p.m. Pistachio?
Oh, no, I can talk to plants and animals. That's a thing that I can do.
Is that magic?
It is magic.
Can you teach me magic?
I don't know if I can teach you this. I'm kind of like new, but I can show you what I do. Look, I'm just gonna. Oh, wow. And this time I rolled a 17, which is a pass with hope on one of the turnips.
with hope.
This turnip has only had a little bite taken out of it, and it says, "Oh,
Hello, are you?
oh, who's there?"
Oh, hi, I'm Pistachio. I'm not a plant, but I am a person that can help you. Can you help us figure out what happened with you guys?
I can help you. I've been bit a little bit.
Oh, wow. Can you tell me by what? What did you?
Oh, you know, that's a great question. I'm a turnip. My knowledge of the world is somewhat limited,
Oh, crap.
but I
That's
can tell you
right.
what happened to me.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
It's a
you
real
got bitten?
sordid tale.
A sordid tail?
I was in the ground.
Oh.
I was in Mother
No.
Earth's embrace.
Oh, okay.
I was so warm and comfy.
This is so sexual.
I was just so protected.
Uh-huh.
And next thing I know, I hear a rumbling so hard. Eventually, I got
Am I supposed to be turned on?
ripped out of the ground. Someone grabbed onto me and yanked me so hard out of the ground. And there was this creature I'd never seen before. It was like long and veiny and green
And green, long
With a-
and green.
with a big, wide head.
Had there been
Big
any
mouth.
language until this point? Because I think we were a family-friendly podcast. I mean, I'm glad this is how we're breaking the seal, but I just something I've noticed.
You know,
Okay, so you said it
Just
was
cross my
long
leg.
and veiny and green.
big teeth.
Big teeth.
They took a nibble out of me,
Oh, wow.
and I moaned real loud.
Oh, I do that too.
I whimpered,
Uh-huh.
and then it didn't want to eat me anymore for some reason.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And it ran off past that gate over there.
Okay, so big and veiny and green. Does anybody know what a big and veiny and wide and green thing is that likes to bite?
Pistachio.
What?
There's older people here.
Oh, is
You-
none
You
of
think
those-
I ain't never seen a dick before, kid? You ain't anything I've never seen
Are you
ogre
talking-
dick before.
ogre? Dick?
The kid's too young.
Yeah, the kid's
She's
too
been
young.
reading any days.
They had to bring a permission slip to join the Adventurers Guild.
I didn't have to break a permission slip. I signed it for myself. But it's not a dick. It has mouth on it. I know what a dick looks like. I have a brother.
Wait, I'm
Wait.
sorry. What is a dick?
A dick is... Well-
Yes, explain because of how you know your brother.
Well, so things that are made out of flesh occasionally have different genitalia, and those. And some of them are innies and some of them are outies. My sister has an innie and my brother has an outie.
Oh.
I will not reveal what I have.
I don't have any instinct, but could I look around for something?
You know, this, do me a knowledge roll.
Oh, my knowledge is -1. That's why I was trying to go with the instinct.
It's sort of like a survival thing. You're trying to look for signs. And the signs are there. You just have to understand what they mean.
Okay. I need to decide which one's my
That was
hope.
the turnip talking, actually. Let me try that again.
Okay.
You know, this is a knowledge check because as you're looking around, the signs are there. You can see them. Kapi sees them.
Yeah.
But does Kapi have the know-how to put those things together?
He doesn't have
Let's
knowledge.
find
He was
out.
very bad at school, and despite the amount of books in the Adventurers Guild, he's never read one. So that's why I put -1 for knowledge.
Kapi's never read a book. Kapi's that guy who
Yeah.
has never read a book and will
Literally
brag
never.
about it.
Woof. That's a 6 with hope.
Oh, 6 with hope. Kapi, you're looking around. Whatever was here, right? It wasn't really a success, so you don't really gain much. But what's obvious to you, even without knowing a whole lot, is that whatever was here was big enough to eat a turnip.
Yeah, I very confidently strut a few steps out and I go, guys, whatever's here was clearly big enough to eat a turnip.
Oh, that's correct. Would you like me to assume a form in which I can track better?
You can change forms, Pistachio.
Yeah.
Wait, is that magic?
That's also magic. No, I don't know.
Where did you learn it?
Well, it was an accident, I think.
An accident?
Yeah.
I want to have an accident.
Well,
Sounds like maybe Pistachio should have the magic hat.
Hey, just turn 500. You'll have an accident.
That is
There's
very
plenty of
important to me.
accidents.
um,
Me, the farmer, the old dwarf farmer, said that.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough. You gotta figure out how to like introduce and what a character's
I like how
talking.
you're introducing it.
but yeah, I could turn it.
All right, yeah. Let's see it. I want to see a killer instinct animal. I want to see someone that can smell out any situation, be able to track down danger in a moment's notice. Okay?
All right.
You got this?
Okay,
Let's
I got
go.
it. I will mark stress to become a dodo.
That's right, everybody. In Daggerheart, not only do you have to deal with health points, you also have stress points that indicate the mental strain that's on your character. Reaching maximum stress will not kill you, but any additional stress you have to take will go to your HP. And if you run out of HP, something else happens. But nevertheless, Rowan, why don't you describe this dodo for us?
So, this dodo, I don't know, is a very cute little dodo. They're a little round, which is very fitting for Pistachio. They're about like, if you were, I don't know, a 5'2" person, they're about like hip height for you. They're kind of big for being a bird. And they've got these big, like dopey looking eyes and a giant, like almost flamingo type beak, and are definitely not supposed to be like sniffing animals, but poor Pistachio definitely thinks that they are. So here comes Pistachio, which this dodos are typically gray. This one keeps the like red kind of like curly pattern to the fur, and the bright green eyes as they turn into this little dodo.
Kapi's just like, you gotta be kidding me. These recruits get worse every year.
Squawk!
I just rolled to see how surprised the farmer was going to be. And the farmer rolled a 5 for surprise. And so his eyes go wide and he gasps and he says, "Oh my God, what's that? Ah, get it away from me. Ah, God." And he takes off.
Squawk.
"Ah, it's yelling at me." And the
Squawk.
farmer runs faster than you've ever seen an old man run before.
Can we understand the squawk? Or is it just squawking?
You know, I'll leave it up to y'all. Do you understand the
Yeah,
squawk?
do we Well, I'll leave it up to Pistachio. Listen, I do want to call out that if you don't let us talk to your animal forms, this is going to cause a lot of barriers.
Yeah, no, you can talk. So Pistachio goes,
Yeah, no, now. This is my favorite animal. It can do anything. Do we need a scout? I got it. Do we need a brave thing? I got it. Do
I
you
didn't-
need a flying thing? I don't got that because it doesn't really have really nice wings. But I can track this way and it's going that way.
Yeah, look at you. You are, and I can't stress this enough, adorable. However, Crank, you got any information on dodos in that metal brain ears?
I will pull up whatever I've ever read about dodos and just start spouting Wikipedia.
Perfect. I'd love for you to get to the point about how many are still around.
Roll a knowledge check on dodos.
Oh, what's your knowledge?
0.
Ooh, it's a flat check. Let's see. Trying to beat an 8.
Almost a crit, though.
Oh,
That is going to be 19 with
Jeez.
fear.
Oh my God. With fear. Oh no. I'll tell you exactly what comes up. It's the whole Wikipedia page for dodos. And you're reading about dodos. And dodos are kind of unremarkable. You read that dodos in a long, far off land, really far from here, not actually that far on a map, but used to be really big in a country called Justhain, which is just over the mountains here. A lot of dodos around. They were actually hunted to a full extinction. And that's the sad thing that you learn, is that all the dodos are actually dead.
and Kapi's basically just queuing that up. He's like, all right, and Crank, could you list off where dodos are now?
Well, according to the data, there are exactly 0 dodos alive today.
You hear that? So how did you, little Pistachio, become a dodo?
I imagined it.
You imagined?
Yeah, I saw a book and I was like, I would like to be a brave thing. They're really brave. Anyway, I'm a dodo.
Oh, you sweet summer apple.
Oh, I'm a nut.
Apparently, the last dodo was so brave that it fell into a hole and died trying to get the last melon.
That is a true fact about
actually
the
love-
dodo.
That is.
I love that.
They were so brave. They literally walked up to people with guns in front of them.
What?
Yeah, and then they died.
Sorry, I was out of character there. That was just Joe.
That
was
is
just Joe.
legitimately how they got hunted to extinction.
That's right, you guys. Guns are now canon in this world.
Oh,
And dodo
no.
extinction.
And dodo.
And dodos extinction.
Anyway, Pistachio is now running towards, like, puts their little beak on the ground and does a big, and then
Starts taking off. Can I see if I can sense this thing?
Yeah. Are you using a specific ability?
I'm using perceive, which is instinct.
Oh, very good. Okay, roll an instinct check. Once again.
Oh, it's out of the box. But it doesn't matter. That is an 18 with fear.
Oh my goodness. An 18 with fear. That's incredible. Miraculously, you watch as this dodo puts its beak against the ground and, like a hound dog, starts sniffing the ground and following a path. Pistachio, you pick up a scent. It smells like that turnip you held earlier and that turnip you ate. And it kind of smells like brackish water that's been sticking around too long, like stagnant brackish water. It's very easy to pick up. All of you watch as your dodo friend, nose on the ground, takes you deeper and deeper into the woods off to the eastern side of town. And I think that's where we're going to end this session of Dodoborne, you guys. Before we can see what's in the woods. What did your dodo friend find?
We're all gonna get murdered.
No.
Me specifically am gonna get murdered.
No, what could be out there, you guys? Any guesses? Well, you'll have to tune in to find out. You'll have to tune in to find out next week on another episode of Dodoborne. See you later.